Sometimes you have to step away from the noise to hear your own mind clearly. On that holiday, I discovered the hidden rhythm of productivity, the final dance between discipline and freedom that changed how I work forever. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the rules I discovered, the truths I found, and the actionable steps I came to fix my focus once and for all. So when I got back off that holiday, I had my best month ever, my most productive month ever, and I made the most progress I ever had. And I hope you find this valuable. Hello, I'm Dylan, I'm 18, and I work with high potential professionals and entrepreneurs who are finally ready to beat procrastination. I don't coach unproductive people, I coach people who have big ambitions and dreams and goals they want to achieve, but no productivity system to back it up. I personally was in that position of procrastination. I spent over 5,000 hours or 210 days straight wasting any potential I had, any aspiration I had, any productive energy I had on video games and Call of Duty. However, now I've turned it around and I effortlessly and easily breeze through large amounts of my work, for my business, for my education, for my personal development goals, and I'm helping others do the same every single day of my life with this YouTube channel, where I'm giving free actionable advice to finally become productive. If that sounds interesting, subscribe. But what do I mean? It sounds cinematic, magical, but I simply finally had the time to comprehend and mull over these concepts that I was so frequent with. And the first thing is the Pareto principle rings true 100% of the time. And this is one of the insights I've received from this holiday so far in terms of productivity, is the Pareto principle is 100% true. 20% of the work you do equates to 80% of the results you get. I found this so true because when the day's full of tours of Greece, of enjoying days by the pool, of going down the beach, and these different tasks, you don't have a lot of time to work, so you focus on the tasks that actually are going to progress you. So my tasks and my day plan was so small yet so powerful and pungent in terms of progression in business, because all I needed to do was record videos, edit videos, script videos, content generate, post video, make short form content, and a bunch of other minor business tasks. But it just showed me that you can really narrow down the amount of work you put in while still maintaining success and maintaining consistent and repeated progression in the business. So I was doing kind of minimal work, but still getting consistent progress using the Pareto principle. It's opened my eyes in terms of the routine I had before, where I'd work 6, 7, 8 hours a day on the business, on top of college, on top of gym, on top of all the other hobbies I have, and I would make good progress. But now I found on holiday, after taking this time off and working less, I'm still getting the same result using the Pareto principle, by focusing on the 20% of tasks that are actually giving me the reward I want in terms of success in the endeavor I wish to succeed in. The actionable step I'm going to give to you is imagine your work hours, not your normal day, not your normal hours of the day, the time you spend working, whether it be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours during the day. Imagine each of those hours were £1,000, but were valued at £1,000. So as you spend the hour, as you utilize the hour, £1,000 is gone. So if you spend the hour doing useless nonsense jargon for the business that isn't really pushing the needle, you've wasted £1,000. When you employ this structure into your business, into your productivity, into your studies, whatever you want to succeed in, then you realize what the nitty-gritty, the key points of progression are, and you can only focus on them. And that's exactly what I did to myself. That's why I'm still making consistent progress while putting in minimal effort as I relax by the pool on holiday. It's super simple. Just before we get into one of the most crucial steps in this video, I have a unique opportunity just for you. The top link in the description will take you to my school community, where I'm going to be helping individuals finally beat procrastination with my personal help. You'll get my personal phone number, you'll get weekly calls, you'll get templates, trackers, tools, resources, educational content, and the strategies that personally helped me and have helped others around the world finally become productive. And for the next 63 individuals only, I will be sending you a free physical planner and habit tracker to help you stay organized and on track to complete the tasks. So if you hit the end of the month and the service isn't for you, you get to keep this planner for you and your productive journey free of charge. If that sounds interesting, check it out, but let's get into the next crucial step. The second thing I came to was that the lack of structure and routine is honestly brutal. Socrates said it best: the unexamined life isn't worth living. And for me, planning my day is not just having a map to guide through the trials and tribulations of productivity and procrastination. It's not just a waypoint and a marker for me to know what to do next and where to channel my focus. It's more a data spreadsheet. It's more a tangible piece of evidence that I can look back upon and I can analyze to see where my flaws and my strengths are. If I had a 10 out of 10 productivity day, I can look back through and I can see what went well. Whereas when I went on this holiday, I left my planner behind, supposed to relax, and the lack of routine was brutal. No analyzing, no direction, because there was nothing to review. However, it was one of the best things to happen because, as I'm sure you know, spontaneous productivity comes without structure. Spontaneous productivity comes without structure. And what I mean by this is one day I was sitting by the pool, I'd done all my work, and I'm just thinking. I'm just staring into the sun, getting a nice tan on, and I come to the conclusion that I need to improve my conversion rate on my website. For the products I sell, I need to make them convert nicer. So when people click on it, more likely to buy stuff because it looks nicer, everything's smoother, the process is faster, the load time's speedier, and you just have a better experience. The user interface is better, meaning this conversion rate will go higher. And I wouldn't have reached this kind of conclusion in my day-to-day life. I wouldn't have had the time to think, to ponder, to kind of find the bottlenecks in the business. I would have just progressed in terms of my usual structure. I would have done the next thing I needed to do, and by the time I look up at the time, it's time for bed, I go to sleep, and I do the exact same for the next day. And that's good for progression, that's good for productivity, that's good for consistent success in the long run. But sometimes you need this break to find the bottlenecks, and for me it was conversion rate. For you it might be something else. For you it might be the way you're reaching out to people, or the way you're revising to get the grades you want to get. But you won't find it unless you break routine sometimes. And the actual step for you is to take one day out of your week and give it a looser structure. Give it a looser plan. Don't follow it to a T. Leave open a window for you to actually contemplate the bottlenecks. Just think about what you're doing and you'll come to a kind of conclusion of what you should actually be doing. And I immediately took action when I came to this conclusion that I need to improve my conversion rate. I did lots of research, and you guess what happened? My conversion rate increased because I allowed for spontaneous productivity to lead me to the bottleneck that was actually hindering my business. And the final thing I learned is that novelty is productivity. Novelty equals productivity. Novelty creates productivity. And I've made videos on this before, but how do you think, when I sit down at a desk on the balcony looking over the beautiful mountains of Greece, do you think I'm going to struggle with procrastination? Do you think I'm going to struggle to find the motivation, the intrinsic drive to complete the work? And the answer is no, because the scenery is blissful, it's motivating, it's beautiful to look at, and it's novel, it's new, it's not my average environment, which means when I sit down at the desk, I have this dopamine, I have this serotonin from the view, and everything's kind of molding my mind into a sense of me wanting to do work. And the same can be true for you. So the actionable step: try to do work in different places. Go to a library, go to a cafe, go to a different room in your house, or move your desk to the opposite side of the bedroom, and you'll find a weirdly intrinsic drive to get the work done just because you've changed the environment. And this may not apply to me, but it might apply to you. If you struggle with procrastination and you're a big procrastinator, when you go to a different room, your identity is left behind. You can be in this new environment, you can employ this new mindset of productivity because you procrastinate in your bedroom, but when you go to the dining room, you're locked in and you do your work efficiently and effectively. So it can be useful for you, whether you change the room, change the environment, or you change the music you listen to, or you change the tactics and techniques you're using in terms of how you're getting the work done productively. But that was it. That was how the holiday that was supposed to relax me ended up fixing my focus forever. And I hope you found this, at least to a certain degree, valuable. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe. Thanks.